That's how we're gonna start it. All right, hello everybody. Welcome to the One Trick Two Takes podcast, special guest edition, featuring. I guess we'll call you by your real name. Is that cool?
No, I was kidding.
We'll introduce you by your gamer tag first. Appo3736.
Yeah, you got it right.
The video game anime resident Star Wars geek of my little group of friends.
Yeepers.
We're gonna have them on. So yeah. So I kind of gave them the lowdown of what we're gonna do. It's gonna be pretty standard compared, like pretty much the same thing as last time. Because I like the way that podcast turned out. I'm just gonna ask you how your week went. Like, what'd you do in these last 2 weeks? Basically, since the last podcast, or yeah, what have you been doing, entertainment or video game related recently?
Let's see. Oh, I've been playing a lot of Watch Dogs recently on Xbox because it was free this month. So I've been pouring like more than 24 hours, probably 48 more, hours into the game. It's really addictive, actually. You know, I heard it was good when it came out, but it's Ubisoft, so it had bugs and whatever. Mm-hmm. But it's pretty fun, and now I actually want to get Watch Dogs 2, so I probably will. Yeah, that's what's been happening for me on the video game realm. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's free, so I would imagine that you would,
yeah, I know, right?
You would look at it in a different eye. I think that happened to me with Battlefront, because I got it for so cheap. It's like, oh, hey, this game's not that bad, because I got it for cheap. But I would imagine if you had paid full price, you'd probably be a little more critical of the game. That's just like, that's actually an interesting.
Because you don't feel as bad, because it's like, oh, I spent $60 on this piece of garbage, but I got it free and it's garbage. I love free garbage, something stupid like that.
I mean, knowing you do love free stuff, so.
Exactly. Joseph knows it.
Whatever you can get for free, especially at conventions, I would imagine. How about you, Joe? How about in the world of video games? I guess we'll just stick to that for now.
Okay. I actually not too much when it comes to games. Honestly, I can't even remember the last few days, let alone games. I mean, I had Will and Brodko over.
Oh, I saw that.
Yesterday. We have our annual Mario Play Day, I guess, where we play one of the main Mario titles to completion. So we were continuing 3D World yesterday.
Yeah, I saw that.
And we still have 2 more worlds to go.
That's not bad.
We're trying to 100% it, but then we realized halfway that if you want 100% it, that you have to have every character play every level. So we're probably not going to do that. But we'll pretty 90-something% it.
Yeah.
I mean, outside of that, it's just been YouTube, exercising.
That's good.
That's good. Honestly, I can't even really think. I guess some Hearthstone in the middle, but it's been mainly just YouTube, resting, exercise.
And Hearthstone.
Yeah, I guess so. And that's about it.
Alright, so I guess I'll do my week. Or my last 2 weeks since the last podcast, because I guess that's what we're talking about. Steam Summer Sale. So I picked up 2 fighting games at the advice of one of our other friends, Robert, who said to pick up Guilty Gear, which is a game I've been looking at for a long time. Made by Arc Systems, made BlazBlue, the Persona fighting game. They're making the new Dragon Ball Z game, and they're one of the best game developers probably out there in terms of fighting games. They know how to make good fighting games. They're a solid company when it comes to that. So I bought Guilty Gear XRD, good game. If you have the money, buy it. I know you probably don't like it particularly, Lorenzo, because fighting games aren't, your jam.
Not my shtick.
Yeah, not your shtick. But Joseph, if you like if you really like Skullgirl style combat, where it's very combo focused, and flashy, but it looks amazing, has really good character design, and you like anime, and you like Gurren Lagann, it's very similar to that. It's got that same I don't know what you would call it, but it's like the 90s anime or early 2000s anime feel.
Yeah, I'm looking at the art style right now.
Very pretty game. Picked up that, and then I picked up Mortal Kombat XL. And really good game. The DLC is really nice. The combat is very pretty looking, very easy to play, very easy to pick up. And it's both games were a good buy. They were both $50. They only cost me $50, so it wasn't even that expensive. But that was, I've been playing a lot of that. And then I've also gone on a recent like emulator spree, playing a lot of the old Tony Hawk games. So yeah, it's been pretty fun.
Skating.
Yeah, skating's like I didn't even think about it. But I was talking with some friends on Discord the other day about how the soundtracks of those like Tony Hawk games are probably the reason I like the music I like currently, like the punk music and even the hip hop that I like. It spawns from that game, so it's pretty interesting. it's like a, I don't know what, it's like trippy almost, because it's like, oh,
trippy.
That's where that song that I've always liked came from.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The origins.
Yeah, the origins. What else did I do in terms of video games? See, I play like I guess I've been playing a lot of different video games. Besides Smash Bros, which I've kind of brought back into my kind of routine of doing things. I guess I can talk about that for a little bit. There is a mod, and Joseph, you know about this, Project M. Got discontinued.
Everyone knows about that.
Unfortunately,
oh wow.
Got discontinued. It was a big debacle. Pretty much, it's over. But there was this other group of modders that were like, okay, we'll take the existing Project M build and we'll add some cosmetic effects to it. So they added different skins for the characters. Really nice, really well polished. Added a bunch of stages, soundtrack, everything. And then they actually started adding new characters to it. So they added characters like Waluigi, Young Link, Pichu, Metal Sonic, and just a bunch of like fan characters. Nothing like too out of the blue. Something that you could actually see being in the Smash game. Really well, yeah, really well modded, put together, and it runs on PC, which is really nice. And it does have an online mode that works really well. So I actually got that set up. It took me about like a day to do, because it's a lot of downloading, extracting, and then putting this in a specific folder, and then running.
Oh yeah, typical.
Yeah, pretty standard, like modding
things, yeah.
Stuff. So that's pretty cool. If you have a chance to check it out, it's called Smash Bros. Legacy XP. They have a website and everything. Installing it was a bit of a hassle, but it's not too hard if you have patience. It's a good game. So if you like cosmetic, if you like looking at cool things in Smash Bros, it's pretty neat. So that was pretty much my week in video games.
Yeah, literally all I've played is Watch Dogs. Like I haven't touched any other game.
That's fair though. It's, I mean, like, again, if it's a games that intrigue people, like I'm like, hey, if you can get fun out of that, then go for it.
Yeah, it's fun. I like to run around the city and kill people.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
No, so I'll say something. Like, there's these things called criminal convoys. So it has like a set out path, this like convoy of cars.
Yeah.
Like, follow.
Mm-hmm.
So what I do is like I spawn in a heavy vehicle, because you can call it in.
Yeah.
And then I put like a bunch of IEDs that you can hack to like explode on the front of it. So I like, I'm like barreling down the street, and then I like ram into them, crashing through them all, and then I activate the explosives, the IEDs, and everyone gets blown up, and then it's like, wow. I took a thing of it.
How often do you do that?
It's pretty fun. The problem is there's like only 15 of them, I think. Oh. And if you do them all, then it's like, oh, that's it. But it was pretty fun. I like crashing into cars. Causing mayhem.
That kind of stuff is like extremely fun. That's why I get a kick out of like even like like Battlefront 2015 or 2016, whatever it was. I don't remember what year it was.
Yeah, I know. EA Battlefront.
EA Battlefront 1.
Yeah.
One of the cool things that I liked about that game was like if your X-wing or your TIE fighter is low, you can just crash it into one of the vehicles that's shooting at you, and it'll kill it. It'll do damage to it, and I love that because it's like, oh, this is like you would actually imagine that happening. Or like it's just something absurd, and it's so absurd in a serious environment, because it's like I'm going down, and then you just dive bomb the ATSD or whatever.
Classic is taking your snow speeder, the air speeder, and just like ramming it into AT-18. That's how you win the game. Yeah. That's like the game winner.
Yeah. So in terms of video games, we're all just kind of, Joseph's kind of just here and there. Lorenzo, you're with one game, and then I'm
pretty much
5
stuck.
billion different games.
Yeah, I know.
Throwing a little bit of League, Smash, fighting games in general. So yeah. So next thing I wanted to talk about was Anime Expo. So
Yay.
I'll preface this with I didn't go to Anime Expo.
Preface.
And the reason I didn't go to Anime Expo was because I don't like anime.
Because you're poor and you don't like anime.
Less on the money part. I probably could have gone.
I'm just kidding.
Let me state my position on this.
Getting the tisk.
I like anime in the sense of I like the design and stuff. I don't like a lot of people that like anime.
You don't like the fan base.
I don't like the fan base. It's the same problem I had with some video games. Examples are Undertale. I have a really big problem with their fan base, and shows like Steven Universe. It's like your fan base. It's and the argument against that, I guess, would be, oh, you know, it shouldn't affect how you view the show, but it does, because you can't not think of that kind of stuff when you're watching it. So
Yes, you can. Yes, you definitely can. It's quite easy. It's called you don't go on the forums and the boards. You just watch the show.
that's true.
That's like,
I know, right?
like for example, like what's like a not degenerate example?
See?
Let's say, okay, this is no. I got an example. All right, let's say like Michael Jackson. All right. Okay, he is a very controversial figure
Yes.
towards the end of his life.
Yes.
Right.
Obviously.
Now, when you listen to Man in the Mirror, Smooth Criminal, Thriller, do you think about that stuff?
Kind of.
Kind of. Bullshit.
It's in the back of your mind.
No, you don't. No, you don't. You know what you're doing? You're jamming out to Smooth Criminal, and knowing you'd probably be like banging your head up and down, fucking making your lips
All right,
like
hold on. First of all,
purse up when you're enjoying stuff. I know you.
First of all, I don't listen.
Because
I don't listen to Michael Jackson. So first of all, I don't listen to Michael Jackson.
Well, listen. Let's say you did.
Second of all,
let's say you're not as deplorable, okay? All right.
I'm sorry.
Because Michael Jackson
I'm
is
sorry.
like
I listened to the Jackson 5. My bad. My bad.
That's fine too.
My bad.
They were Jackson 5 was pretty fire too.
I think Jackson 5 is better than Michael Jackson.
They're like the first fire.
Yeah.
Fine. Do you think little MJ when he's singing ABC
No.
or I Want You Back?
No.
Are you think? Of course
No,
not.
I'm not.
Exactly.
No, but I will say this. I'm not gonna name the person, but me and Lorenzo, and you know this person. There's a person that we went to school with, and
Yes.
they would constantly recommend anime to me. That makes me, and this person was.
I just
very
kinda like
off-putting.
people
It
in
makes
general.
me not want to do that.
Look, we know also another friend who constantly recommends JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Yes, you're correct, actually.
Which I don't mind. Like I think it's.
I mean, you know.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
funny meme, but yeah, no, you're right, and that turns
But
me away from the show.
even when. Nah, I mean it kind of does, but at the same time, I'm just like when it comes to watching shows in general, I'm just like whatever. But in my opinion, no. Like if it depends on who it is. Like I'll be like maybe more weary or
Yeah.
eager to watch it.
Well, I'll give you an
However,
example. I'll give you an
That
example.
won't make or break me watching something.
No, it won't. But I'll give you an example of just defending my logic here. It's probably, it's just me being picky and cynical about things that I like to watch. But if someone that you had a negative experience with in the past went and recommended you something, even if the thing is amazing, at the back of your mind you'd be like, that person recommended it to me. I learned it from that person, and I do not like that person.
Maybe like at the end of it, but not during when I'm watching.
Yeah.
If a show's good,
Yeah.
right? Or bet like listen, it doesn't matter where I find the recommendation, who recommended it to me. The only thing I'll say that a recommendation does, it will sway me to either get to a show sooner or not. That's really about it. And that's generally because I have a bad memory. And so like having anybody, even if it's someone like, you know, the one we were referring to, recommending to me, if I was already like thinking about that show in the first place, I was like, yeah, you know what? I just remembered it now because of your recommendation. Why not?
Yeah. No. Okay. You wanna know what? That's a good point you raise. That at the end of the day, it's just it's not like I'm gonna I don't force myself to like certain things just because my friends like them. And anime is one of those things. I like some animes. There's some really good animes that I've watched. Cowboy Bebop being one of them. Some of the
Joseph,
original.
you haven't even watched the movie for it.
Some of the original Gundam. And various animes. I've never watched the Code Geass in its entirety, but the concept of Code Geass is really interesting and fascinating to me. And if I ever had time to sit down and watch it, I'd go watch it. Same thing with Gurren Lagann. I like the art style, very again, like Guilty Gear. I like that art style.
Every time you say Guilty Gear, I think Guilty Crown.
Yeah,
just
I know.
An anime.
I think we were talking about that one time, a long time ago, like when I first mentioned Guilty Gear or something like that. And
Guilty Crown was like alright. I don't know. I watched. It was like entertaining, but the ending was alright. It's also a visual novel, like a game.
What I will tell you though, and to defend my point, I don't like anime, but I do enjoy reading manga. I really do, and I think that just comes from me reading a lot as a kid. I've read the entirety of Death Note, although I'd like to go back and read it again because I didn't, it's been a while. A really good, I now have to find the name of it, but it's the guy who wrote Death Note, and it's about the creation of manga. It's like basically how you publish a manga. That's a nice picture you posted. I'll put that in the description for the people that are listening.
That'll be the thumbnail.
That'll be the thumbnail. Okay. Anyhow.
If you say something else worse, I have another one ready.
No. But I do read a lot of manga. And
that's a lie.
No, I do. So. But that's basically why I didn't go to Anime Expo, because I had no association with anything that was going to be there. In hindsight, when you guys were going there, and I saw what you guys were looking at, and I saw who was actually going to be there, I realized I messed up because I probably could have met some people that would have given me free stuff that I like. So, I'm not saying I'm going to go next year, but there's definitely a possibility that I'm swayed more this time around to go. But I want to ask you guys, how was your experience? I'll let our guests go first.
Good. As you should.
So just kind of give us a rundown of what you did.
All right. So this is like my 4th year, basically.
Yeah.
I've gone all the years throughout high school. So this year, it was pretty fun, pretty interesting. It was the 25th anniversary of Anime Expo. They had a day 0 this time, a pre-show. So it's like 5 days long instead of 4 days long. On pre-show, there wasn't too much. You get to see like the entertainment hall where all like the game stuff is, like the Blizzard booth, which was totally packed. Like Nintendo games, and then also the arcade area and stuff. That was pretty interesting. Yeah, so that was cool. But then there's some panels like but not really interesting to some of the other guys. But there was one for me, which was Full Metal Panic. So like the creator of the manga series, or the light novel series, and the illustrator were there, and that was fun for me. And then over the course of just the rest of the days, I got like 2 autographs actually. So I bought the Code Geass Akira the X-Side Blu-ray combo pack.
Yeah.
And Joseph was wondering if he wanted to buy it just to get the autograph, but I was like, yeah, you're not that big of a fan. I don't think. To get it.
Just thinking about autographs now.
We'll talk about that one next.
I was gonna say, since I'm not gonna be talking, I just wanted to bring up a short little autograph story, completely unrelated to anime, but totally related to autographs and that kind of stuff. So my cousins went to a concert to go see some dude that used to be in a little punk band. I can't remember the name, but they got me a record signed by him. I have no idea who he is, but I just have a record in my living room, autographed by this random dude from some band that my cousins listen to.
Nice.
It was my autograph story.
That wasn't really a story, more like an anecdote, but...
Anecdote.
Yeah, anecdote. I forgot a syllable in there.
Anecdote, that's going in the description as well.
Oh, I mean, that's not gonna get more views, but...
Nothing's gonna get more views because no one watches this.
Well, I mean, not yet. You gotta think in the future.
That's true. People could come back to this. Anyhow, go ahead and continue.
No, so if you're one of the if you're one of the 75 people or something to buy it, you get a guaranteed autograph tickets. I was basically probably like one of the first people who bought it, and I kept pestering the Funimation people. We got another picture up by Joseph.
Don't worry,
it'll be in the description.
Yeah. All right. So I kept bothering the Funimation people, like the lady. I'm like, "Where's my ticket? Did I get it? Am I gonna get the ticket for the autograph session?" Like, yes, it's in the bag, sir. Don't worry. It's like, all right. So I got that. Yeah, I know. Give me the ticket, basically. So we came around, and I met the English and the Japanese voice actor for Akito, the main character in titular OVA series.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was really cool. They're really awesome. They're like asking me how's my con, and I was like,
You know what?
cool.
I'm just gonna say that
Stuff like that.
because I've been to cons before, right?
Mhm.
And the one thing I always do love is when you meet somebody that even if you don't like admire, like even if you just like their content, you don't admire them or you don't look up to them as an inspiration, but you like their content, and they're really chill about you, about just confronting you and just really nice people in general. I think that makes the con experiences a lot better because I've read tons of stories of how people are just jerks in general.
Oh yeah, sometimes like guest people can be like assholes to their fans.
It's like
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see what the point of not being gracious, about it.
because they're the reason that you are where you are.
They're
Because
kind of popular
they buy
or
your
whatnot.
stuff or they watch
I know,
your
right?
stuff. Yeah, it never made sense to me. But anyhow, continue. Sorry. This is a little-
Yeah, no, and then so that was cool. I talked to them and kind of personal connection. So I got that, and then the other autographs I got were from the Full Metal Panic creator and the illustrator, as I said before.
Mhm.
So I actually got two. So I got one from each of them twice. So it was a ticketed event, and then one of our friends here, Luna,
Yeah.
he was with me, and he got one of the tickets, but he was like, I don't know this anime, I don't like it really, so you can have it.
Oh,
So then I was
wow.
like, haha. So now I have two Full Metal Panic Invisible Victory posters.
Yeah.
Both of them were signed by them, and then I did one with my English name, in English, and then I did the other one in Japanese,
Mhm.
And it was funny because he's like, "Wow, Lorenzo, kakui, like what a cool name you have," he said.
Oh wow.
And then when I came back around the second time, he was like, "Back again, I see." It was whatever. I was like, it's funny, yeah.
Pretty nice.
So I was like, such a big fan. I gotta come twice. It's like, very,
That's
nice,
cool.
very fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
See,
So-
that's awesome. That's
Yeah.
that's good for cons, especially that
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
Yeah, so that was really fun,
Any other
meeting
things, or
these
is that it?
creators. Oh, but now it's pretty much it. Went to the panels and stuff.
Yeah.
Got a bunch of posters, some manga. I
Usual stuff.
bought things.
Yeah.
As usual. I didn't expend. I probably only spent maybe $100 on merch and then like less than 50 on food. So maybe 150 spending the whole thing.
That's not bad.
But my other friends who went, some here maybe, some not.
Man, I wonder who it is.
Can
I don't
attest
know.
can attest to their spending habits.
Yeah.
Oh, so we're
Yeah.
gonna go to you, or is that the
I don't know.
transition?
Is there anything else, Lorenzo? I
Uh,
got some things to say.
cause some of those spendings are you and some are like somebody else.
Oh yeah. Well,
You can just
I
say
don't
you.
know. Wait, someone else in particular?
No, well I can say it, I guess. Luna.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You like-
oh right, right,
He
right, right.
like so. He bought like probably $100 worth every day. He spent 100
Yeah.
already pre-show day. That day 0.
That's ridiculous. That's
And,
insane.
the
Spent
thing is,
100.
You
Oh,
know-
yeah.
right.
because he bought the Diva leggings and the Diva jacket.
That's
And
right.
yeah,
Oh
and
my
he probably
God.
spent like 400 plus or something crazy,
That's
Like,
insane, dude.
maybe if I was working, good job, I'd spend a little.
Yeah.
No, you
know.
wouldn't. No, you. I know you. I
I only
told you-
buy what I
No, no, no.
like.
I told you this, and I still believe it 10 years down the line. When you become a millionaire or whatever, you're still gonna be that guy who lives in like a quiet little home with like, and you're still gonna be pirating
I
stuff.
don't need
You
like a
don't
big
wanna,
home
like-
though.
No, I know, that's not the home thing. It's really more so you're gonna be that guy.
You're just calling him
who
cheap.
goes-
That's what you're calling him.
Yes, yes, I am. Yes, I am.
It's not like he's
believe
not.
it.
It's not like he
He's
doesn't
gonna-
acknowledge it.
He's gonna be that guy who still goes on Kiss Anime instead of going to
I will do it.
Funimation or
Honestly,
Crunchyroll.
It's like, why
Oh.
not? It's like, why not watch there?
I'm sorry. I'm just.
It's
We're
because-
gonna, you wanna know what? We're gonna confront this. We're gonna confront this now on the podcast because this is a good. This is actually a good medium to confront it on. Okay, so Joe and Lorenzo and I, we've known each other for what, like 4 years? 4 years.
4 or 5 years. if you
Basically.
count
4 or
the
5
years.
years.
5 years,
Yeah.
ridiculously long time. Anyhow, and the one thing that we've like, the one thing that's different, like the polar opposites between Lorenzo and Joseph, and I'm somewhere in the middle. But the polar opposite between Lorenzo and Joseph is that Lorenzo is very cheap. It's the easiest way to say. You don't like spending money.
Yeah. Yes, very frugal.
And that means he'll get around doing whatever
I'm
he
an
can.
I'm an opportunist, so to speak.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So to speak.
But the opposite end of the spectrum is you have Joseph, who likes to spend. I wouldn't say likes to spend money.
But he'll dole out.
I'm more generous.
You're more generous
You'll
because you like
That's
to
what I'm
more
saying.
liberal with my spending.
You like to spend money to support the artists that you like. You've kickstarted multiple games, and you put money towards things because you have that money. So I always found that interesting. Just to give a little context to why Joseph's getting all uppity about Lorenzo's spending habits, but he's completely right. I could totally see that.
I won't deny it.
Yeah. Well, why don't we talk about your spending choices, Joseph? Because that's what this is about.
Okay.
Or why don't you just give us
your spending?
Yeah.
All right.
Just give us a lowdown of your anime expo. How about that?
I can sum it up into two categories. It was either autographs or not autographs.
Okay.
My thing, I couldn't really, because I had been out of the anime game for a while.
Mhm.
And I just actually started again. Now I've been exercising more because I watch. Shut your ass up. And I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do. It all started because Steve Bloom was going this year to Anime Expo.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. I finally, because I wanted their audit, because last year the dub cast of Cowboy Bebop
Yeah.
was there.
We went. That was fun.
Oh yeah, I remember you guys telling me about that.
That was a great time because they had a band.
The orchestra,
playing,
right?
Or not an orchestra, but it was just a band
Yeah.
playing songs from the show, and then they had a panel afterwards.
Kind of a talk. Yeah.
Yeah,
Q&A sort of
and
thing.
even last year at the actual musical event, they came out and had a little talk on some Sophie.
Yeah.
I didn't
pretty
know
neat.
that.
Mhm.
Yeah, but and it was like, I think they had met after, for the first time 10 plus years or something.
Yeah,
or
it's
not
crazy.
10 plus
It's crazy
years.
how long
Since
it's
the last
been
time they dubbed.
since the end of Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, but so yeah, that's how it all started. And I was like, I don't really know what I want. For the first few days, and I was like, well, I guess I'll go get autographs, and I was trying to figure out what I want to have Steve Bloom sign his thing, or sign on, and I was like, oh, I don't know. So I left my poster that I bought last year at home.
Oh
And I
yeah.
didn't really feel like buying stuff in cartoon. I was like, I don't really know. And so I had this old black binder that I kept for actually notes for scripts of videos I had in mind, but I didn't really use it that often. And I decided, well, I might as well just, I guess, write them and have them write it in this, I guess, because there were some other voice actors I really wanted anyway. And so when I go to Steve, I think it was on.
Had to be on the second day, right?
It was either I think it was the second. No, it was the first day. It
This
was
first,
Friday.
yeah. It's pretty early on.
Yeah.
That was the first one you got, I think.
Yeah. And the thing was, I didn't realize you had to pay for it. Like, that was the first time I realized you had to pay for
Autographs.
Yeah, and so
Oh my
I was
gosh.
like, I was
They know.
shook.
You
They
don't
know
go to
they can
cons, do
bank.
you?
They know they
I
can
mean,
bank.
I do go to cons. This is my third time, but I never bought an autograph before. That was just
Yeah,
new to
they're pricey too. They do that at what is it?
Yeah,
Star Wars,
they range
Celebration.
anywhere.
Oh my god, the ones at Celebration are insane.
They're like $50.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they ranged anywhere from $20
Yeah.
to $30.
30, yeah.
All right,
and
that's
it-
not. I mean, it's expensive,
Yeah,
but it's
I
not
mean,
that bad.
the most expensive thing that was offered when I went to these voice actors were a
There's a voice
recording
line,
from,
yeah.
well, specifically from Squidward, the voice actor of Squidward.
What'd you get them to say?
I didn't have them say anything because that shit was $40. I was like, fuck no.
I mean, it's they're voice actors, of course. The voice.
Yeah,
actors
but
are more
no,
expensive.
because
No, I'm just saying. Of course, it's more expensive
Yeah.
than the writing one.
yeah,
you
but
know?
Steve Bloom was like 15. Charlotte Chong and Johnny Cruz was like
Yeah.
20, 25.
Oh, that was
maybe.
funny how Johnny Cruz is cheaper than Chunk.
Oh yeah, that was okay. I can get that too, but
Yeah.
And so when I was walking up to get the signature, I was like, man, this is just some dumbass book.
Booty
And I
crap.
just
Yeah.
and I was like, I want to make this interesting. I want to make it like something memorable for the both of us.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
And I'll get it right now. I decided that I'd have Steve or any of the voice actors or any people in the industry actually, because I got some artists in there, to do a 30-second challenge.
Yeah.
Which was after they did their signature. Because I came up with this because as I was in the line, I'm like, wait a second, I'm gonna have to pay $20 to $30
Yeah.
for what I could do on my exams for school.
Yeah.
Well, I better make this at least something special.
I know you did. You did something. Well, I guess we can talk about that later.
Yeah. And I don't know what that was. And so what the challenge was is that after they did their signature, right? I gave them, or they had like, most of them had like little pictures or like posters of their characters, right? So like for Steve, I said, all right, Steve, you know, after he finished, I have a challenge for you. You have 30 seconds, draw Spike from Cowboy Bebop.
Oh,
And
wow.
then and he's like, oh god. And
memory or whatever.
First it was
Or
memory,
first,
but then,
that's what I'm saying at first,
but then
but
he was like, I'm gonna need a reference, and he used one of his cards he had for sale, and he's like, sure,
yeah.
that works. So, and then boom, there he went. And then that's pretty much what I did. That's what I did for all the voice actors.
That's pretty neat. That's a neat little way
It's something
to
like unique.
yeah,
you
to
know?
connect with them, and plus now you have, it's like, hey, I have to, not only did I get like,
A drawing by them. You
that's
know?
technically speaking, you actually outsmarted them and got an autograph, because that's technically an autograph.
You got like an extra little something.
The only person who didn't do this was Squidward's, which I was pretty upset at. He was
Really?
like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't draw. I'm like, oh, that's okay. And it was funny because the voice actress for Jimmy Neutron, I can't remember her name, but she literally did it right. But I got her to do it right before. And the way they have it is per day, it's like 3 or 4 voice actresses, or whatever.
Like it's rotation.
Yeah. And so I was literally, when I went up to her, I was like, but literally, she did it right now. And I don't remember the company that they're under, but it doesn't matter. The lady who was there helping out the voice actor for.
Did you get kicked out?
No. After I got my signature, she was like, I was like, could you do this? Like after, you know, I revealed the challenge, and I was like, oh, I'm sorry. And I'm like, oh, could you? It's okay. Like you don't have to be good at drawing. Like, you know, it doesn't matter.
Trying to coerce him into doing
Yeah. But then the lady was like, sir, sorry, but no, sir, you must leave. I'm like, oh. Okay.
Get out. That's
He was the only one out of all of them.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, so like I have it right here, and I call it now the Almanac of
You
Autographs.
should frame it and
Well, he's gonna add every year.
no, but
every
you should
year.
frame it and then keep adding to it, and then if every time it gets too big for the frame, you buy a new frame.
Maybe.
That way when
Well,
people
I
come
mean,
over,
it's just a notebook.
I mean, yeah, it's a book,
Just
so
a
it's kind of like a collection.
Oh, never
Yeah,
mind.
so like
Dude,
I
you can make copies of it and then be like, publish it, right? And then you could sell it and be like, I have all these weird drawings of the characters, these voice actors' voices.
It's like a
Maybe.
quote
I don't
art
know.
book.
That seems kind of scummy. Don't know.
I do it.
Yeah, see,
Yeah,
I do it.
you would.
I would do it too.
Maybe. I don't know. But then it's like they wouldn't, like I'd have to lie and say, oh yeah, have this original autograph. Or I guess I could put a copy, but no one wants a copy.
That's
Get their
awesome.
signatures.
So
But anyway, so
that was your
Steve
adventure?
Bloom- yeah, well, yeah, and I could say a little bit on
Yeah,
who
go
I
ahead.
got it from. So I got Steve Bloom, voice actor of for Sega Anime, Spike from Cowboy Bebop,
Awesome, best
Johnny
voice actor.
Crew, voice of Lucio, Charlotte Chong, voice of Diva from both of them from Overwatch. Oh God, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but the voice actor for Jet from Cowboy Bebop,
Yeah.
the voice actress for Edward, the voice actress for Jimmy Neutron, and then Squidward, who all he put was a quote, which is pretty
What was it even?
appropriate, which for Squid was like, oh please. So in my head I'm like, yeah, that's what he said when he denied it.
Basically.
He's like, look at this kid asking me, challenging me. Who does he think he is? I'm Squidward.
Yeah.
That's exactly what went through his head. Those exact words.
Yeah.
Oh, please.
And then the voice actor who did the original song, the Pokemon song.
Oh, yeah.
They sang.
Yeah, and then I also got the signatures of Tyler Hesse,
Tyler Hesse from Diesel.
Tyson Hesse, who made Diesel. Also did the recent promo for the Sonic
Mania.
Mania, and I can't remember his other work. It was like called Boxer Hockey. boxer hockey.
That's his
and-
Twitter, yeah, but yeah.
Yeah, and then
Huh.
also Muriel Cartwright,
Mhm.
lead animator at Lab Zero for Indivisible.
Yes. Oh, sweet. You have to let me in on that, boy. 'Cause
Yeah, and
I love that
they're
game.
drawing those last two because they're artists, so their
Yeah.
drawings were nice. They
Yeah,
were really
he is a
nice.
fantastic artist, and
like,
the-
what do you
the-
expect
But
from
no,
the
but
actual?
like they're like extreme. Like there's artists, right? There's artists for games, right?
Mhm.
But these guys, like at Lab Zero, for some reason, they have like one of the best in terms of indie games.
Art.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just art wise, it's pretty. It's just a pretty game, and that's
Yeah.
the thing. But that's pretty cool actually.
Yeah, and but yeah, that was the majority of the autographs, and then the rest were like posters
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Mhm.
The most I got, let's see, I can count it right now because they're all strung across my walls. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Mhm.
7 posters, and technically 8, but I got this miniature wood block thing
Oh, that's
for
pretty neat.
Mob Psycho 100. Like it's laser
Like
etched.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, that's dope.
it's really cool.
That's dope.
It's a tiny little thing, but
It's intricate though. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really intricate.
That's really
I'll have to take a picture of it and show you because they did a real good job on it.
All right.
Yeah, and that was just what I spent my money on, which I did rack up a lot of moolah.
Yeah, but
but
that's worth it in my book.
How much moolah?
I don't know if I had to guesstimate. Let's see, 60, 20, probably 20. Let's see, 60, 20, 20, 100, probably 50, 150. Let's just say poster. Let's just guess the posters were like 100 or 200, and then 20, 20, 20, that's 60, 800, 120, 150, and the last 2 or 3. So probably around like $300, $400 in total, or
Mhm.
something like that for everything.
Yeah. Like total
So-
spending on merch
Yeah.
crap like that.
Yeah, but that's not including like food and stuff like that.
Yeah, obviously. 'Cause
Oh, yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
expensive,
Yeah.
which sucks.
Yeah.
That's okay. A little moment to gripe about that. I mean, I get it because they want to make money for the convention center specifically.
Well,
But-
we didn't buy from the convention
No,
center.
I know,
we
but
bought
I'm
from
saying
the
like in
outside.
general, cons are just expensive, like food wise.
Oh, they know. They know people are gonna buy. Like, you know, they
Yeah.
can capitalize
Oh
on
no,
it.
yeah, I'm not.
Fact.
Again, I'm not blaming them for capitalizing on it. It's like I don't want to pay $10 for
Oh, yeah.
fries.
That's why you bring your own food.
Yeah.
That's what I did that before in previous years.
Yeah,
Like I just bought
cons I've gone
something.
to after the first bad experience. I just started bringing my own food or finding out, oh hey, there's like a fat burger down the street. Let's just go to that. Especially
Mhm.
if it's in LA, there's like fat burgers on every corner, or at least like a good taco place. If you know someone from LA or in that general area, yeah, I mean you're setting yourself up for getting a good meal for a cheaper price than what the con would have. But is that your anime expo experience? Like
Well,
overall?
that was the spending side of things.
Yeah.
But how about the experiencing the con side? I guess
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, we went to a lot of panels.
Mhm.
Pretty, panels for manga, panels for this, panels for that. My highlight, and Lorenzo, I think, would know what my highlight was. I don't know if it was his highlight, but we went to some late night panels.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh god, no.
It was yeah. Some were like well, to put it like this, they're all comedy themed,
Esque
but
entrance. Yeah.
yeah, but like to get in, there were 18 plus. So
Because it's like at like 9 because it starts at like
Oh,
9
I
and
get
it goes to
what
like
you're
12.
You guys went
You know,
to
so
it's
the,
like-
you guys went to the cool kids things.
Yeah.
Because without the 18, or one of you is 19. One of you is
Yeah,
an old man.
I just turned 19
Yeah,
5 days
happy-
ago.
Happy
birthday.
belated birthday.
Thank
I was
you.
gonna say something insulting, but I realized I couldn't.
You had to
Oh.
hold back. Was it one of the
Yeah.
was it one of the no
Just-
words?
Just put it in the. Oh, there you
Oh
go.
yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
That's
Go.
fair.
I was gonna say
That's
happy
fair.
birthday. Blank.
Blank. Yeah. Insert word.
Never
You could
mind.
actually insert multiple words there.
Yeah. So kids, pick your own adventure. What was I gonna say? You know,
Yeah.
put in your favorite naughty word. I don't know.
That's a good picture. All right.
Yeah. There we go.
But anyhow, talk about your experience at the late night event.
Yes, those are hilarity because the like host, I guess. The host
Yeah.
he was a great host. He was very funny, you know. Kept it along going nicely, and the crowd was great.
Yeah.
So people ate it up, you know. That was probably a highlight of my con too.
Oh,
Oh man.
you got
What are you laughing
Yeah,
at?
what are you laughing about?
Well, it's just because how ambiguous you're describing it, Mr. Lorenzo.
No,
Do
I'm
you
going
want-
to- I'm going to imagine that it
No.
was pretty bad. You guys don't have to get into the details, but I can.
I don't wanna
I
get
can already imagine.
Yeah.
Considering that it's 18
It all
plus.
began. It all began.
It was a thing between
stupid-
me and Joseph though.
Yeah,
just
we
like,
were like,
yeah.
we're gonna go to.
like long ago we decided.
We're gonna go to the lewdest sounding panel
Yeah.
we can, just to see. Not because we want to whatever.
No, I
like,
get you.
do
No,
a
I get
lewd thing.
I get
But we
you.
just want to see what
Curious.
like I even described it to my friend David, who was like unsure about it. I was like, David, imagine what if we go to one of those lewd panels, and then there happens to be like someone cosplaying as like a tentacle or something.
Listen,
Tell me that
listen.
wouldn't
I'm
be
just gonna
quite
say
the
this. I
experience
have
of a
one question.
lifetime.
I have one question for you.
I have one question for you.
Stop. That's an inside joke no one's gonna get. Well, I mean, if they're new to, if they don't know us previously.
Yeah.
But were there any actual strange individuals there? Because considering the content of the panel, that there were
No.
any weirdos. Because
In fact, there are attractive people. Very
that's
attractive.
okay. That's
It's honestly like it's
That's
normal
funny.
people you'd see on the street.
that's crazy. That's cool
You,
because that's how I feel about that kind of stuff.
that's kind of something I thought of just like about anime in general,
Mhm.
where you know you go to the big convention and you see these kinds of people like, wow, I never think they'd be into like anime
Yeah.
or you know that they watch and all this other stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. The only person I could remember that would stand out wasn't even weird though. Was this really attractive like young, I guess lady because she's in the 20s or girl, whatever.
Woman.
Who had her hair dyed like kind of like this bluish green, but even then that wasn't a big deal. I only
Yeah.
remember because one, she was very pretty, but also two, her group, I guess,
Yeah.
they got there and then they were told like, oh yeah, you need because for these these night events you need a band, which isn't hard to get,
Yeah.
but the place where we went to was like in this hotel, which is like 2 streets away from the convention
Oh
center.
boy, that.
So they realized that and they got fucked basically. So they had to run all the way to the convention center, and they had multiple people. So they technically their group had to make 2 trips because one guy had to hold the spot, the rest went and then back, and they somehow made it, which was like pretty cool. But
That's crazy.
yeah, but no, they were average everyday people.
That's
You know,
That's pretty neat.
that's what I like about Anime Expo too. Is then like a lot of the stereotypes you would like think about
No, I
like,
getcha.
aren't really there and are a lot of them are shattered. Like you think like, oh, they're all gonna be like Doritos smelling.
Big,
Oh,
hairy,
no way.
sweaty dudes.
Well,
Something.
well, I'll say this much: to the average listener, yeah, that's usually the conception.
I mean,
And
wow.
and that's fair because the average person is thinking when they think of conventions, they think of Comic Con. And if you ever seen pictures of Comic Con, it is
Neither.
not good. It is like you're packed in with people. It's disgusting. People are sweaty, smelling. It's hot because it's San Diego, and it's not very fun. And I think that's where people get the conception that it's there's gonna be Dorito, like what you said basically, fat Dorito smelling people.
Now, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say though, because I'll admit, my first year of Anime Expo, I was blown back. I got sent to the Shadow Realm. Like there was the amount of people. That's the first thing I always
Was it
noticed.
the
really
cos-
good.
Was it
Just
the
the
cosplayers?
sheer mass of
Oh
people.
wow.
No, just like the
It's
number of
Baffling.
humans.
In fact, on day 1, I was actually underwhelmed coming this year on the first few days.
you were
'cause I was
expecting
or
more
the
people.
first day 0, because I was like, man, they're a good amount, but not what I was expecting.
Well, day
then
zero was,
day
like,
one
insane.
happened.
But
No, day one, all on my Twitter feed. Okay, so I wake up in the morning and I'm like, oh, I forgot that Anime Expo started today, right? Because I was originally gonna go to the day zero event, but things happened and I wasn't able to go. And I check Snapchat and you guys are already, or Lorenzo's already there. And he's in line, right?
I know, just as always late.
And I saw the line, right? Why you're late sometimes. In fact, you're late more than he is.
I know, that's why it was a joke. I mean, if you know us,
yeah,
and
yeah. Obviously, yeah. Being sarcastic. Stop being sarcastic. No sarcasm on the podcast. This guest is being disruptive and rude.
This guest is being disruptive and rude.
He's
I
also
mean, you're the main host. You're the creator. I'm like just
I
a
am.
co-host.
You are the
Yeah, well, I'm replacing you.
Joseph is now the guest.
I mean, it was a nice run of one episode as
One
a host.
episode as a host. No, but what was I talking about? Shoot.
You're talking. I'll fill in the blanks for you.
Yeah.
Yes, on day one, the amount of people there
Oh yeah.
was. I was enamored. I think that's the word you would
Yes.
want to use.
You know how I
Because-
knew it was bad?
Let me
Because-
tell you how I knew it was bad.
Well, let me just give you a little outside
How
perspective. Just
I knew.
a little, because you were there, obviously. But just a little outsider
Obvious.
perspective.
Mhm.
So, I checked his Snapchat, I checked Lorenzo's Snapchat, and I'm like, oh, the lines look pretty long, and I'm like, oh, that's standard for a convention to get in. And then I checked Twitter, and when I checked your Snapchat, it was like 8 in the morning. I checked my Twitter at 1. There are people still online.
Yeah, those
waiting to get in.
bad
Those are what we
people.
call the normals.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I said the bad people,
Because
because they
the
don't know how
model-
to get in.
The motto of Anime Expo really, it's being on time is never on time. You gotta go in hours before.
Being 3 hours early is not on time. Being 4 hours early is on time.
Yeah,
Oh, that's well, if you're going
that's
for
almost true. Depending on what you're doing.
Yeah.
that's a little
If you're going-
extreme.
If you're going for autographs, then
Yeah.
yeah.
Depends on who it is. If it's
That's
especially if
true.
it's paid.
Well, not the
Hey.
paid ones, because the ones where you have to line up outside.
Because there
for-
are people that I know that you guys probably don't know, or one of them you might know, but they went, right?
Yeah.
And they ended up going late. They ended up getting there late.
Mhm.
They didn't get in until like 3.
Well, they were just bad.
Yeah, and no,
Well,
but I'm just
yeah,
saying,
I
like,
mean,
that's insane. Like,
Well,
it doesn't make sense to me. And these
It
people
is,
are people
but-
that have gone multiple times. It's not like their first time going.
then you're just stupid.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Well, no, I mean there could be a lot of reasons, but
Well, I don't know.
let me say
I mean,
this
like,
for
they
people
slept
who
in.
would not, for people who would not know. All right, even if you don't know Anime Expo, just look up the Los Angeles Convention Center.
Yeah, it's true,
It's
actually.
huge. It's like the size of 2 airports
It
or
is.
something like that.
It's
It is
not the
ginormous.
size of 2 airports. That's
Okay,
even-
maybe an airport and a half,
That's
but
not
it
even
doesn't
an airport
matter.
and a half. It's huge though.
Okay,
Yeah,
maybe
you're right.
an airport. But shut up. The point is,
Airport in a rural area.
Yeah.
yeah, there you go.
A
right?
rural airport.
When I got
Yeah.
there on day 1, right, the main streets, which was I want to say Flower and Pico, you can see it. Like you can see the convention center. You're walking up. I couldn't even get inside. It was deceptively large.
Yeah. Oh, it's one of
amount
those
people
buildings too.
because
Yeah. Oh,
because this was because for the line itself, because there was literally I couldn't get inside because there was a casing of people wrapped around the whole convention center.
Yep.
And I didn't realize until after I squeezed through, but this was for the line, all right? And it's hundreds of feet, thousands even, around
Yeah.
this center. 3 people thick, hundreds of thousands of people just wrapped around this thing. It was amazingly packed. You couldn't even begin. Like, it was crazy. Now I will say, outside of the massive people, going back to what I was talking about earlier,
Yeah.
which was like the stereotypes. I will say, first year, I won't lie, I got trapped. I saw a relatively attractive girl who turned out to be a boy. I was blown away. I've
the traps?
seen some very interesting
Especially in
Please,
Anime
like-
Expo.
super, like the weirdest cosplays, and my favorite / weirdest cosplay was 3 Diglets and a Pepe. Now what made them so special to me was these were super buff men. Why do I know that? Because all they wore a Speedo, and then a paper mache mask of either a Diglett or a Pepe on top of them.
Oh,
And they were just flexing.
I think I saw that on. Must have been
Probably online.
Yeah, must have been on.
It was amazing. And the one I saw that was really weird this year was a dude with a inflatable dinosaur rider outfit.
I love those.
And he was wearing a Hillary Clinton mask. It was just so random and out of place. It wasn't my favorite,
I almost feel.
but
Oh well.
it was funny to me.
I almost feel like that dude. And this may not have been his intent, but I feel like his intent was to make fun of everybody else, because that's something I would do. That's something where I would be like, I'm going to go and dress up as something so ridiculous, but it's not going to look out of place because it's Anime Expo.
Maybe.
Kind of thing.
I mean, hell, when Kill la Kill had just kind of finished up, everyone was dressing up as the people from. I mean, well, let's just say the outfits from Kill la Kill. Even if you haven't watched the whole thing,
Yeah.
there's not a lot of clothing.
Yes.
in that
Like
show.
They're very
And
revealing.
if you watch the
two-piece
whole,
bikini or less.
if you watch the whole thing, then you can imagine
Yeah.
what kind of people were there, what they were wearing.
That was your first year, I would imagine, right? Because that's
Yeah.
the first year you went.
I
Was
think-
right around Kill la Kill.
2015.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
that's-
the most unique cosplay I've ever seen was some dude with the full set of armor, and he had like a not a barbecue, but like I would think it was a reference to Monster Hunter because he had this little
Oh, the big
rotisserie
meat?
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was because he had a functioning fire, illuminated fire at that, and then like it was really cool because especially when it got dark, you just see this knight just doing his rotisserie, and everyone's just like, whoa, that was really cool. But yeah,
All right. Is that? Are you done with Anime Expo? Huh?
Are we over that topic yet?
Yeah. Are we over that? This
Let me
podcast
think.
doesn't like to stay on topics. We like to talk about relevant things like Taco Bell,
Oh my god.
as referenced by our last episode where we talked about it for
Joseph's
30
favorite.
minutes.
I almost went to Taco Bell
Dude,
when I went
dude.
to.
Should have.
Dude, all right. Here's what we do. We're gonna take Taco Bell. Okay, we're gonna do a live.
We're gonna live. That's what I'm saying.
We're gonna do a live
Live.
recording of you reviewing Taco Bell.
Eating
There's a
it.
Taco Bell literally I could walk to.
I know. I've been to by where you live. So what
So
we're
we're gonna
do?
crash your house.
No. So what we're gonna do is you guys are gonna go to my house because it's Taco Bell down the street from my house. And
Oh,
we're
whatever.
gonna use my quality mic, and I'm gonna up the
Quality mic.
my quality mic, my non-echo mic. That I broke the sand of. Anyhow, and we're gonna get Taco Bell, and we're gonna get a review. It's gonna be the Joe food review or Joe. You get Joey's World Food Tour.
I will.
What'd you
I will
say?
put-
Joey's World Food Tour. If you know who that is.
Oh boy, we're going to Flavor Town
We're going to
now.
Flavor Town. We're gonna do that one of these days. But
Okay, we'll see about
This
that.
week you better, or else I'm gonna.
no. But are
I
you
don't
guys
know.
done? Seriously, in all seriousness, are you done with Anime Expo?
I'd do it.
No, are you done? Are you done with talking about it?
Oh yeah, I
Talking
was
about it.
I think so.
All right. So since we're on the topic of cons, this is something that's really relevant only to me and maybe Joseph. But Evo is this weekend.
Oh yeah, it's still going on.
It's
right
still
now.
going on right now. But I guess this is my time to geek out, since you guys are geeking out over anime and voice acting, even though that's something I would do. To geek out over fighting games. So if you haven't watched it, Joseph, I would try to catch the finals if you're still up for it after this podcast. The finals are gonna start, I think, at 9. No, not 9. It's already 9 already. They're gonna start like 10 or 11
For what?
for Melee.
Wait, I thought they're finishing up tomorrow.
No,
huh?
the finals for Melee are tonight, I think.
Oh shit. Let me see.
I think. I could
Well,
be
I
wrong.
mean, they have 110
Yeah.
people watching right now,
Yeah.
so
So,
I'll check right now.
me and Lorenzo were actually just kind of going over the podcast before we actually started recording, and I was watching Evo, and you know HBox, right, Joseph?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a rule against a mid-set coaching after pools at Evo, and he had a mid-set coach, and if he doesn't get DQ'd, there's gonna be like
I already read it on Reddit.
Yeah, it was on Reddit. It was like the top thing on Reddit.
He
Right?
got yellow card.
He got a yellow card.
Because the other guy already got.
Because SFAT jokingly called his friend. If you watch the VOD, he jokingly. What happened is, so HBox won the first set, or no, yeah, HBox won the first set, or the first match, and then after the first match, he calls his coach up, which everybody was like freaking out because it's like you're not supposed to do that. In the rulebooks it says it's illegal. So then SFAT, who he was playing against, kind of just looks at the camera and it's like, there's nothing I can do. Just kind of does the shrugs his shoulders and like, I can't change anything. It's already done. But he was mad. So SFAT goes and wins the next game, and he jokingly calls one of his friends up to go
like pretend
to
coach.
Pretend the coach, yeah.
And then that meme kind of saved him instead of getting
It saved HBox.
Yeah, that's what I read. Like,
it's so stupid. I love HBox to death. I think he's a really good Smash Bros. Player. I think he's a good guy. And I think he just wants to win Evo again because he won it last year in a really good losers run. But the problem is, that's a rule, and he broke the rule. So we'll have to see what happens with it. Anyhow.
Oh yeah, but by the way, I'm gonna cut in real quick.
Yeah, what's up?
Right now it's losers quarterfinals, so I guess you're right.
Yeah, I think Mango just beat Plup. Right
cool.
now.
Well, I mean, no one's surprised.
Yeah, Mango's like doing. Leffen's out. Leffen got knocked out 9th place by Mango.
By 9?
No.
Huh.
Yeah, by Mango. No.
9th place. Wow.
Yeah, 9th place. He barely missed being top 8, which is kind of unfortunate because I love Leffen as well. M2K had really good. M2K's match was probably the hypest. His first match of the day was against some Luigi, and that was really hype.
Why?
I can't remember what Luigi's name was, but it was just hype because it went down to the last stock. It like literally went down to like 30 seconds left in the match, and I've never seen that in a Melee game before. It was that like intense, and they were at such a high percentage. And then M2K ended up pulling out. What else? Smash 4 was really entertaining because we watched the champion from last year, Ally, get knocked out at like 32. So that was interesting because he's not in it. And a bunch of like really good Smash 4 players got knocked out immediately. Anti, Amadongo, Rainai. But those finals are tomorrow. So you should watch those if you like Smash 4. But overall, Evo's been really exciting this year. I didn't really catch it last year because it didn't seem too interesting, even though I know HBox had like that crazy losers run. But I'm excited for both games because it looks like for the first time in a while we're gonna have new competitors in the top 8, which is really refreshing because I think after a while it gets boring. But that's happening right now. So I just kind of want to talk about that because I like fighting games and Evo is kind of an important thing.
Maybe we should wrap this up real quick and then
we can
watch
live
the
watch
finals.
it. Yeah, we can live watch it. That's what I was
live watch.
I mean, Adrian.
He's a bully. Okay. All right, now we're gonna go to the gaming news. So Joseph, give me a news sound, like a give me something like that.
There you go.
There we go. All right. So in gaming news, all right, we got Destiny 2 early access beta.
Oh, when's that coming out?
That is coming
next
out
week.
Next week for console. For PS4.
So for console, for PS4, it's going to be 17/18 it starts, like on Monday, I think.
Yes.
And then for Xbox, it starts on the 19th. And then for everybody, it starts on 21, I think.
Yes.
On console. August is when PC comes out, and I have no clue though in August yet. I don't think they have a date for it.
God. Okay.
Come on, you know, they're moving from console to PC, and they're working with Blizzard, I think it was?
It is Blizzard.
Yeah,
It's Activision.
it's Activision. Blizzard,
Yeah, Activision, exactly. So that's, you know, they're moving through them.
The Master Console did not get it first. Oh well.
They never had it to begin with originally. But,
What do you mean, the Xbox One X? The glorious name that is the Xbox One X?
Oh yeah, X.
The
That's what it's
Xbox
called.
One X, not the
Yes,
Xbox Scorpio.
I thought it was called Xbox X. Oh, never mind.
It's Xbox One X.
It was called Project Scorpio, because you know they always have the code names.
Yeah, but that's so much cooler sounding. I would have
I
loved
like
to play a console
Scorpio.
that sounds like Scorpio. That sounds dope.
I got that. You
Since
playing
we're-
Call of
okay,
Duty
actually,
21 on
since we're on the
Scorpio?
topic of this, we really couldn't talk about it the last podcast because neither Joseph or I particularly care about Xbox. I don't know if Joseph cares more than I do, but like speaking for myself, I really don't care. Did you see that they have the new Xbox has it's water cooled?
Really?
Yeah.
Neat.
I don't remember. I don't know. I checked the specs and then
listen,
I probably didn't look too
listen,
much.
the specs are cool, but it's like almost you're better off buying a computer.
I know people said that. If you can't hot swap
Yeah,
stuff, then you're out
The
of it.
reason why you get a console is for the games, the exclusive games.
Just buy a PS4.
And this quote simplicity of I don't know.
Yeah,
not,
like if
not
you're a
having to do stuff.
sure. Let's say you like simple. You don't like the
Yeah.
complicated, the convoluted, the costs of a PC. I get that. I respect
That's
that.
fair. No, you're right.
However,
That's fair.
the real reason you should, in my opinion,
Yeah.
if you are a gamer of any kind, you make your decision based on the games. Because
true.
here's the thing: if Xbox or PS4 or Wii U or Switch or fucking
Dreamcast.
the Virtual Boy, I don't give a damn. If those games consoles do not have good games that you can only get on that system,
Yeah.
Why
then
waste your money on the system?
why
No,
Just
no.
get a better one.
money on
Or-
that system?
No, I
Yeah.
agree. I'll give you a classic example of that. The Wii. Okay, the Wii is a console that I think
Oh, boy.
all of us have owned, right?
Yes, sir.
And I have a lot of games on it. I think I have more games on that than I do any other console, except maybe GameCube. I have a lot of games on GameCube. But the Wii is a bad console. The Wii is a horrible console. As is the Wii U. The Wii U is also a horrible console.
Yeah, it's okay. It's weird, but
What?
it was okay.
But
Meh.
the difference between for me and the Wii and the Wii U is I would go buy a Wii U because the Wii U has some really good games on it. Smash 4, Xenoblade Chronicles X, which is a fantastic game that's really been overlooked by a lot of people.
Big game.
It also has Breath of the Wild. I don't think people think about this.
No, because
Isn't that the only
Switch.
reason? Oh, Switch.
No,
Never
it's on the
mind.
Switch, obviously.
right.
I'm
it was
not-
built. That game was originally built for the Wii U,
I
but
know.
they didn't want to. Obviously,
wow.
they needed something for the Switch, but they probably also didn't want to
Yeah.
cannibalize it anyway.
No. But what I'm saying is, like, the Wii U has really good games on it. The Wii
Yeah,
maybe has one good game.
Wii Sports.
Well, I was gonna say
That
Galaxy.
was. I mean, that was fun, but
No, Wii Sports is a fun. Okay. My defense with the Wii is at the time the motion controls was like revolutionary. Like we had never seen that before.
I was more so joking than anything. I mean,
Oh.
Wii Sports is a great game. Don't get me wrong.
No, Wii Sports is actually fun.
Literally, I think it's like the best-selling game of all time.
It is because the Wii sold so much because.
I love it, dude. But
because it came with
Actually,
it.
you wanna know, I take it
Oh.
back. The Wii was good. It's good for one thing, and it's what I applaud Xbox for doing. Backwards compatibility. I cannot stress this enough. If anybody ever from the game industry that works in the game industry listens to this podcast, listen to this. Not that it would matter, but
I know.
put backwards compatibility in your consoles. It's not that hard. I know it's not that hard because
It's just you gotta tweak a little code
it's
stuff.
not that hard because the Wii is great because not only does it have backwards compatibility with GameCube
It's like-
games, which means
Yeah,
it's
that's what
easier to
I
get
was
a GameCube, easier to play GameCube games because GameCubes
Nowadays.
now go for a lot because they're what?
kind of quote retro.
They're 17 years old, almost
Yeah.
17 years old.
Mhm.
Okay, so put backwards compatibility on it because not only do your console's gonna sell more because it serves like multiple functions.
The affordability of
Yeah.
like to play a game, the GameCube game specifically goes up.
That's why a lot of people that play. I'll give you a classic example. That's why a lot of people that play Smash Bros are really mad that there hasn't been a port announced for the Switch. Because I'm sure people want to play Smash Bros on the Switch, which is a better console, can run more things. You could probably add more DLC potentially. But the Switch doesn't have backwards compatibility. Now it makes sense in terms of its design. You really can't put backwards compatibility on it. But regardless,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just backwards compatibility to me is something that's really important. Look at the new Xbox. That's the one thing I really like about it. It can play every generation of
Play a
Xbox.
360 and then Xbox One,
Yeah.
the regular one.
Yeah,
And actually
it
they
can play
have it
original
to-
Xbox.
Yeah, and the thing is that the Xbox One X, it has like 4K and other garbage
Yeah.
like that. But then it's like they're putting in patches for older games that
Yeah.
boost the quality of the graphics.
Mhm.
So kind of like,
yeah.
That's right.
you know, without having to buy like a newly, you know, remastered edition version, you know, they have these
Yeah.
Because,
patches for it.
and I heard this on another podcast, and I'll just repeat it here, but what's happening with consoles nowadays is they're slowly just turning into PCs. Like, if you just look at them, like exactly what you said, they're patching the console, they're patching the game. We would have never heard of that years ago, but because PC gaming took off as much as it did in the past couple of years, and how much money's in that industry, consoles are lagging behind. So if your console can, for example, be water cooled like a PC, the PC gamer is gonna be like, oh, that's cool. If they're a hardware geek like someone like Robert,
Yeah, I know.
I'm not saying he wouldn't buy an Xbox because he's not that kind of person, but I'm saying in general, if you like hardware, oh, water cooled Xbox, that's pretty neat. Until you think about it, and then you realize that's something you have to maintain. And if you're a casual gamer, that's the other problem too, because they're competing with PC
Quote,
now.
Hardcore versus casual.
It's making casual gaming harder to access. That's why the Switch did so well, because it's very casual.
Because how much is it even?
$300, which is super cheap for a console nowadays.
All right.
That's also 4K too.
Yeah, it's in 4K.
That's interesting.
Like all this stuff is like super. Like the games are $60, which is standard for a game nowadays.
I know.
It's mobile, has a long battery life, and it's it's perfect for the casual gamer. It's built around that. It's got games that are party games, kind of similar to what the Wii did when it first came out. Wii Sports.
Yeah, it's very
Wii Play, Wii Party.
family and party.
All those like party games. I love that. I think that's really nice. That's why it did so well. But you have consoles like the Xbox One X or the PlayStation Pro? Is that PS4 Pro?
PS4 Pro.
Or it's like 4K, water cooled, something processor, right?
For me, it's like I don't have a
That's-
4K monitor, so
No, yeah, and for
I'm not on that chip.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying like in general, like for someone who like has a 4K monitor or games a lot, right? It's like, oh my gosh, that's awesome, that's super cool. I'm gonna be able to play.
For a
the
normal person, they probably wouldn't like get it.
Yeah, but if you're a
I
casual
guess.
person, you're like 4K. Maybe you know what 4K is.
I mean, if you got 1080, that's cool.
Yeah, 1080 is what I think.
60 frames or more.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
It's just, I don't know. There's a little rant about consoles. All right, other news.
Well, I want to say
Oh,
this.
you got news?
Now that,
You got news?
not news, but now that we're talking about consoles
Do you have a gripe?
and stuff, SNES Classic Mini.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Actually, that's a good one. Thank you. Oh, see,
I've scalped them all on
that's
eBay.
why you're the co-host, and I've actually got a story about the scalping thing on eBay, but I'll let you tell a story first.
eBay changed their
Yeah,
Dude,
they changed their policy.
Yeah.
I just want to pre-order this. I
No.
just want to pre-order this system.
All right, I'm just
But
gonna
it
say.
hasn't come out yet. The U.S. has not, at least from what I understand.
I'm gonna say.
U.S. pre-orders have not been
No.
available
So this is
to
how.
us yet.
This is what happened. Okay, Joseph. So a little background to this story. Basically, Nintendo announced they're releasing an SNES Classic with like what 30 games,
Yeah.
Yeah,
including a
something like
never
that.
before seen Star Fox game, and they're just a bunch
I
of
have the
classics.
list right
It's
here.
like totally
It's totally
Yeah.
redone. It's nice.
Yeah.
It's got the old school vibe. It's retro.
Isn't it smaller? Or?
It's smaller, but it
Yeah.
yeah.
But the games on there are I have it right here.
Yeah.
Contra 3, Donkey Kong Country,
Yeah.
Earthbound, Final Fantasy 3, F-Zero, Kirby Superstar,
Yeah.
Kirby's Dream Course, Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past, Mega Man X, Secret of Mana, Star Fox 2, which has never been released ever
It's
to
a
the world.
20-year-old game that was completed.
Yeah, it's gonna be but they didn't want to cannibalize the release of their upcoming console at the time, which was the Nintendo 64. Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Hyper Fighting, Super Castlevania 4, Super Ghosts and Ghouls, Super Mario Kart, Super Mario RPG, 11 of the 7 Stars, Super Mario World, Super Metroid, Super Punch-Out, and Yoshi's Island.
That's
Fire.
insane. That is
Yes,
like
you got all the classics.
yeah, all the classics and a surprise game that no one's ever played
Yeah,
before.
that's what I'm saying. Like,
So, but
Like-
see, okay, so here's the thing. So, Lorenzo mentioned it. eBay basically, they're like, okay, you can't scalp these things anymore. What we're gonna do is basically we change the rule, and I hope Amazon does this. I really hope they do.
cost. Well, yeah. Well, for at least for Amazon, it isn't easily
Yeah,
like available for
eBay
just,
it makes
like,
more sense to do it.
a regular
Yeah.
person to go on there. And, yeah.
But basically,
it.
with Amazon, I mean with eBay, they're like, okay, new rule. You can't pre-order. You can only pre-order the game. I think it's like within 30 days of release. so people can't pre-order them now and then try to scalp them.
Yeah, because the pre-orders in the UK went live.
Yeah.
So they stretched them.
Yeah,
Pretty-
but US pre-orders, there are no one taking pre-orders in the US.
Yeah.
So,
I think Nintendo's biggest problem with these consoles, it happened with the NES Classic too, and it happened with the Switch. They really, and it's fair. It's fair to me. I get the logic behind it, because you have consoles like the Wii U that sold. It's abysmal. It's like one of the worst selling consoles next to surprisingly the GameCube. I don't know why the GameCube sold so.
Really now?
The GameCube's like one of their worst selling consoles. The quote unquote dark ages of Nintendo are the GameCube and the Wii U. Even though I think the GameCube is the best era of.
Like, I don't know. I grew up on GameCube, so
I'm
maybe
biased.
that's why I have a fondness for it. Yeah.
Well, I think it's a good console. I've had mine for 11, 12 years now.
Like,
so.
I have no clue about the hardware, but the games were fun that I played on it.
I mean, you could argue the PS2 was a better console, which I would kind of agree with. I think the PS2 had really good games.
At the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, like hardware-wise, yeah. But anyhow, but Nintendo is so used to not selling so many copies of things that they didn't produce enough. And I think they realized after the NES Classic and the Switch that they could capitalize on this by basically making a select copy and then selling them for a lot so that people would actually have to go after them. I think that's what they're doing. They're smart, but it sucks for people like Joseph who want them.
they're gonna lose a lot of customer faith.
Oh, they are.
Like me, if they do something like this again, because it's just so like I didn't really care about. I mean, I'm a collector. I like collecting things, but I didn't really care about the NES Classic because it just wasn't my style of games.
Yeah.
Now I actually grew up on a Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
Even though I'm 19, I actually did have a Super Nintendo growing up.
Yeah.
Right around the end of it, and then Game Boy Advance, stuff that. But I mean, all these games were great.
They're fantastic. Super Mario World is one of my favorite games.
I am now, the more I thought about it, I'm now super obsessed with getting this system.
Yeah.
And so every day or every so often when I think about it, I look to see what's the status update for the US, and so there has yet to be any pre-orders.
Check every hour.
Like I'm looking, what is this? NintendoLife.com. They say for US, there's no merchants taking pre-orders for the NES Classic, but we anticipate that they'll be live very soon.
Well, when's it releasing though?
It's in December.
All I know is this: they also said that once 2017 is over, there's no more Super NES.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Gone.
Yeah. Okay.
Snag them now while they're
Yeah.
even around.
So to wrap this one up, it sucks because people want them. I would like one, but I know I'm obviously not gonna get one unless I'm sitting there pre-ordering it. It sucks. It also makes me a little mad because you could just release these games on Virtual Console for the Switch. It would be really easy with the hardware on the Switch. They did it with I guess the other good thing, again, the Wii is really good for not playing games made for it, but for playing older games, N64 games, GameCube games. If they were just to put it on Virtual Console or sell it as a disc set, it would be awesome.
Yeah, but they can make like $100 this way.
I know they
by
can make
selling
more
off
money
the
this way.
nostalgia.
I'm just
I
saying.
know.
No, I don't disagree with their methods of wanting to sell things. I get it, but at the same time, it's like, well,
And
I mean,
here's the thing.
it could be made more readily available.
it could. They definitely could produce.
But
more.
then that kind of diminishes the idea of
It being a
having
limited
having
edition.
it all
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
Limited edition in one package, and then you get that Star Fox game and stuff.
Mhm.
So it's like wow.
And
packs
also,
a
I'm just gonna
punch.
say this. This is probably going to trigger a couple people that like this kind of stuff, but it's a glorified plug and play game. It really is.
You can't say those things.
It really is.
Just
I understand that it's nostalgia, but that's what it is. It's cool.
Yeah.
I want it, but it really is because I grew up on plug and play stuff like that, and that's all I see. It's just them trying to capitalize on something. Oh, look at it! It's retro, and for a collector, like, the dogs are unhappy with you with Nintendo.
Yeah.
They don't like what you're saying.
I don't like it.
They don't like it.
Yeah, and I mean, people will say, well, why do all this when you can just ROM all the games? And yeah, that is a fair point.
Yeah. I mean, I did have a GameCube.
However,
Yeah.
one, the Star Fox 2 thing already.
Yeah,
I mean, I
that's
think there are some ROMs out there, but to have the official game.
yeah, that's pretty neat, I would say.
That's one thing. And then also, at least for me, like as an inbound call, well, for all of us, so we're inbound college students.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, I could use a ROM, but it'd be a lot more neat to just have a system there where I can just boom, turn on, play my games, and then sit down and then, move on. Like, I don't want to have to like suffer. I mean, I'm sure ROMs aren't that hard
ROMs
to do.
aren't hard to set up at all, but
they're not. I mean, I use the Dolphin.
Yeah, we both use Dolphin. So, but what I was gonna say is, like, on the topic of that, like having a console, like, because we're all going to college, having a console, like, at least for me, is something that I'm really like I consider to be kind of important because
Yes.
one, it'd be nice. I think I'm debating on what console I'm gonna take from home with me when I go. But it'd be nice to be able to play, like, I don't know, Smash Bros. With some people in my apartment or something like that. I don't even care. It doesn't have to be Smash Bros. It could be a Mario Party or New Super Mario Bros. Or Mario Galaxy 2 that has a little cute multiplayer. Or
You
some.
don't have a Switch, right?
I do not have a Switch. I do not own a Switch. But I'm thinking about buying one for Christmas.
I
because
wait. I'll wait on it.
Odyssey is. But they're making a Switch Deluxe. That's actually what I was going to talk about in the news next, but I'll get to that.
Oh, okay.
So just having like you said, having a console that you can just kind of turn on and play, like the old days. I mean, I love PC gaming, but there is a certain feel that you don't get with PC gaming that you get with a console, especially a Nintendo console in particular. I think it's special with the older. Like if you were to turn on your GameCube, sit on your couch and play some old like Star Wars game or old Smash Bros, Super Mario Sunshine, Luigi's Mansion, Pikmin 2.
Oh yes.
All of them. They're all really good games. Original Lego Star Wars, all of them.
That was fun.
Yeah.
All the Rogue Squadron games.
Yeah, F-Zero GX, Chibi Robo, which is a really good game. Any of those. It's just a different feel, like you said, than playing on the ROM. It's a completely different feel. Yeah, but I guess that's that for the console talk for now.
Yeah.
But thank you for bringing that up because I would have forgotten about that. All right, we got.
Is there like one more thing and then we'll, call it a day?
I'll call it a day. Don't worry.
Shut this podcast down already.
I invite you on for one podcast and you already ruined it. All right.
Yep. You better invite me again.
All right. Let's see. Some Disney news because I think this is relevant to all of us. So real quick, Star Wars. Just do a quick recap. There is a new behind-the-scenes trailer for The Last Jedi that makes the movie seem a lot more promising than the trailer did. New footage for Star Wars Battlefront 2, the storyline. Really interesting because they're doing kind of the 501st Squadron style Empire view of the whole Star Wars storyline, which is
For
really neat.
EA Battlefront 2.
Yeah, for EA Battlefront 2. And then Incredibles 2 was announced finally. I mean, like officially.
Really now?
Oh yeah, you didn't know that. Oh, okay. So
I
this is
did
fresh
not.
news for you.
I
All
didn't see that
So
one.
this is fresh news for you. So
I just
Incredibles,
kept up on Star Wars.
Incredibles 2 was announced for I believe 2018.
It's gonna have Mole Man or
I
the
don't know.
Underminer.
I hope they do. That would be awesome.
Well, because they had a game based on it on
stars-
GameCube.
It stars Violet's gonna be the main character, which makes sense. They're probably gonna do like a grown-up version of her, I would imagine.
Because they were in like high school
Yeah,
or something,
so-
right?
15 years.
Yeah,
they're
so,
like-
no, it's
they're like old.
It's 14 years. It came out 2004. No,
Point being is
it's
they're like-
yeah, it's old.
Yeah.
But basically, what I really find neat about it is it's going to be very similar to Toy Story 3, where a lot of people that grew up with the original movie are gonna show up to the new movie, and it's gonna be like surreal, I guess.
Yeah.
Like
Super cool.
adults or not adults. Well, I mean,
We are adults now.
I
pretty much.
guess technically, yeah.
Yeah, but that's happening. Okay.
I
Toy
thought we
Story
were
4.
gonna talk about. Well, speaking of Toy Story, I thought we were gonna talk.
Oh,
when you
Kingdom
said
Hearts?
Disney,
Yeah.
I thought, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna get to that. I'm just looking at Twitter. Sorry, checking the stream.
By the way, Grand Finals Evo.
It's on
Or
right now.
Winners Finals, actually.
It's Mango and Armada, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll wrap it up then. Kingdom Hearts 3, Toy Story is gonna be in it. Basically, that's all you need to know. I'll post the link for it in the podcast description on all these trailers. But we're gonna end this pretty much now because I want to watch the Evo finals.
Yes, and yourself.
Yes.
I mean,
wow,
podcast.
Wow, you're edgy.
Well, you were gonna say something about Toy Story 4 real quick?
Oh yeah, Toy Story 4 was announced, and
they are doing another.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it because
everyone was like, it capped off perfectly.
Yeah, it was perfect. That's the only way I need that. I probably won't see it, but whatever.
Maybe it'll star the Lotso or something.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Well,
wasn't he incinerated? I don't know.
No, he was not put on the front of
the truck. Yeah.
Thank you, our guest. Lorenzo, for coming on and being entertaining.
As usual.
Bringing a little life to this podcast, even though it's like the second episode with a co-host and the third episode overall. Thank you, Joseph.
And third episode with your new co-host.
Yeah, new co-host. I'm sorry, I forgot Joseph's the guest. Thank you, and we'll be back hopefully in another 2 weeks. I don't know.
Obviously, we'll invite you back next week.
Just say sometime soon.
Sometime soon. It's not gonna be. I'll say much. I'll say this
within
much.
a month.
It won't be. Yeah, it won't be in 3 months anymore. That's not gonna happen ever again. Hopefully.
There you go.
All right. Thank you. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.